More than 1,400 square feet of office space. 30 days to finish the reno from scratch. Possible? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and as you all know, we have gotten ourselves a new office. It's really exciting and we've been wanting to do this for the longest time because before this, we had this small corner office that can only comfortably fit like 4 people. So that now our team has grown immensely. We have outgrown the space and it won't work for us anymore. So for this next move, we are moving into a 1411 square feet office, which is already a massive upgrade from our last place because we wanted to really give our team members a place where they can focus on their work, share ideas with each other more easily, and also hang out together as and when they like. Of course, that's not what you're here for, right? As the title suggests, yes, I've been tasked with the challenge to complete the entire reno of the office within 30 days. Yes, 30 days. A typical reno for 1,400 to 1,500 square feet space right now takes maybe about 3 months' time. So to really achieve this, we have partnered with LS2, which is an ID firm, to really help us out. And today is day 0. Okay, but to be honest, I got a slight advantage because we have already torn down the partitions, tore up the carpeting. It was like maybe a day's work. But before we can start any work from there, we have to do the planning first, right, to make the whole thing more efficient. So we actually met the ID this morning, and already from day 0, we have problems. Okay, let me explain. Before we met the ID, I actually went ahead, I was very eager. I did up some layouts because I thought that it would be easier for me to convey my thoughts and ideas to the ID. So, layout number 1. So let's start off with the leader's office. Now the leader's office is in this position because there's only one window in the entire office and we wanted it to be inside the leader's office. And you can see this full-length glass panel. We wanted glass panel because we wanted the space to look very spacious as you look through from the door. Secondly, you have the studio. Now the studio is in this position because there's a solid wall at the back which will help to reduce the echoey sounds when you film. And in the middle of it all is the pantry because we want it to be accessible to everyone in the office. And lastly, all the rest of the space would be occupied by the hot desking area. We also have this partition wall here to kind of shield the outside from the inside. And this is layout 1. We also had layout 2. And the only difference you can see here is that the studio and pantry area has switched positions. Now the good thing about this layout is that as you enter the door and you look inside the office, because the pantry is all the way at the back, it will look a lot more spacious as you enter. But the bad thing is that because the studio is in this position, there's a lot less area for the glass panels of the leader's office, which may make the whole place look a little bit cramped because you don't have that deep field of vision from the door. So initially, we thought that both layouts were pretty good with a little bit of issues here and there. So we wanted to ask if the ID can help us to solve these issues. But when we presented it to them in the morning, what they told us almost made me cry, right? Because they said that both layouts were not workable. Okay, why? Because we forgot to factor in a few things. Number 1, the structural pillars inside the office space. Number 2, the ugly DB box that was at the sort of the pantry studio area, we forgot to factor that in. And lastly, the sprinkler positions in the office as well. So I think one thing that the ID really value adds to you is that they have already a lot of experience with all these issues. So you don't have to waste time handling all these issues afterwards because they plan it in during the planning stages already. So it was back to the drawing board, and the ID with us actually came out with this new layout. But as you can see, everything has changed. Now the leader's office, we have made it narrower but longer. You can still fit all 12 tables, but with this kind of layout, we can have the glass panels here and it will still give us that deep field of view to make the entire office space still look spacious. Now because we are incorporating the pillars into the leader's office, this pillar doesn't matter anymore because it's not in the studio space. We are able to, because this whole leader's office space is big, we are able to accept these structural pillars being inside. And as for this ugly DB box here, the ID suggested to make a tall boy complete with cabinetry to actually hide the ugly DB box and integrate it into the pantry area as well so that it looks nice and neat. The studio has been shifted to this corner, and we have actually reduced the length a little bit from 6 meters to 5.2 meters because of the sprinklers. We wanted more sprinklers inside the hot desking area to kind of prevent a fire hazard lah. And yes, you still have a really large space for this hot desking area, complete with a partition wall that the ID suggested we do this curved design, because we actually saw this in one of the Pinterest inspirations earlier on. We really liked it, so we asked the ID to integrate it as well. So this looks like a really great base layout for us to work from, and we can't wait to show you the progress as we go along. Please go and like the video and share the video to give me more motivation, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so that you can follow us along on our 30-day challenge. For now, we'll see you in the next video.